Man, I got to tell you, this one really sticks out to me because of how practical it is, how workable it is. But we'll get into all the details like that in a little bit.
We
Um,
have a lot to go through.
we do, and I'm very excited about that, to be honest with you, because this is a chance, a new face in Magic. We can get to know you a little bit here too, and talk about your first major release. So why don't we kind of start there? I know I just told them what your name is, but why don't you give them a little bit of information where you're from and who you are, and then we'll talk about Laced. How about that?
Okay, sure.
Cool.
Well, my name is Antonio Satiru. It's a bit difficult to pronounce my second name, so let's put that aside. Antonio is just perfect. I'm 25 years old. I live in Romania. And what can I say? I do magic for like about 10 years now. Since I performed my first magic trick, it's been 10 years.
Cool.
That's about it, I guess. Yeah.
All
And I
right.
just thought that it's time to share my ideas with the whole magic community.
All right. Well, we are again very excited to talk to you about this, and also to get to know you a little bit more too. I don't think I've met too many magicians from Romania, so we can get to know a little bit more about you too with that. So I've got the trailer queued up. So why don't you start to tell the guys about what Laced is, and then I can show the video, and also we can start to answer some of the questions that the guys might have while you're talking about this. So what is Laced, Antonio?
Of course. Well, first of all, it's an amazing effect
Yes.
in which you can give the spectator to choose any card they want, or if you want, you can ask them to name a card and you take it out of the deck.
Mhm.
And then you just pass them a Sharpie. They sign that card very visibly. They hold that hand in the card in their hands. They sign it. You take the card back, you put it back in the deck, and the next thing just depends on you and how you want to perform list because as you saw the explanation video includes multiple routines that you can perform with the gimmick that we provide
Mhm.
and as I said the next thing it just depends on you because you have you can throw the cards and the cards the idea is that every time the card will end in your shoelaces tied together and here again you have multiple ways in which you can present it. You can have it facing the audience, so for example, if you take the cards and you throw them towards your shoe or something like that,
Mhm.
the card will directly face the audience from the first second, and they will see that that card in your shoelaces, it's the card that they just signed like for a moment, 4 seconds before. Or if you want, you can do the other version in which the card is facing the shoe, and then you untie the shoelaces, you take the card away, and you have like this slow motion, very nice reveal at the end of the routine.
Oh yeah.
Uh, as venues, I think this is a very workable effect because the handling is such as the spectators can never see anything, and the only side that can give away something, it's always covered by your body. So
Aha. Cool.
exactly. So regarding on angles, you're always covered without a problem.
Very good. And those are some very important details that speak volumes when it comes to actually doing this type of stuff out in the real world. You know what I mean? Like those little details. And that was one thing that you and I were talking about before this is that you're a worker. You're out there. You're doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you create for yourself because you know what you want to use out in the real world. So I like it when people do that. There's certain people that use stuff that they just create it just to sell it. They might do it online or something, but I like this when someone actually uses their own material in the
No,
real world.
I know what you're saying, but
Yeah.
the thing is, as you said before, being myself as a working magician, when I use a gimmick or when I perform an effect, I have some expectations regarding handling, regarding the cleanup, regarding all these little subtleties that actually make the effect altogether, and they're very important. And that's why, for example, the handling, as you saw on Laced, is very basic. It's super simple. It's very easygoing. The only thing is that you have like these two routines that are very flashy. If you want to like stand out and have like everybody around you go like, what was that? It's because it's a very big move. When you throw the cards or you throw the cards in the air and you kick them, again, it's a very grand gesture that you're doing, and everybody is gonna be with the attention on you right there.
Absolutely. We've got some questions coming in already. Do you mind if we take a couple of those
Oh,
real quick? Yeah.
sure,
Cool.
anything.
Yeah, that's why we're here, of course, to help you guys out there watching. If you've got any questions about this, again, feel free to post them away. Post away. The first one comes up from our friend Amberlyn Walker. What's up, Amberlyn? She wants to know, can you customize the gimmick to have black laces? So is this something that you only can use the white laces like we see in the trailer or in some of those videos like that?
Here, I'm glad that she asked this question because
Cool.
this is something that I didn't present in the trailer. And yes, in the explanation video, so for example, in the box, you receive some shoelaces that we provide. Some of them are gimmicked, are specially manufactured for this effect.
Hmm.
And you'll get another pair of shoelaces that will go on your shoes, so that you can match it with the ones that are gimmicked. But in the explanation video, I also included a segment in which I am teaching people on how they can take a normal pair of shoelaces. For example, if you want to use like some very colored shoelaces, or
Right.
because myself, I love shoes. I have a lot of fancy shoes, and most of them they come with some fancy shoelaces.
uh,
And most of the times when I want to wear those shoes, what I'm doing is I'm buying another pair of shoelaces and I'm gimmicking them.
cool.
I'm making them into a gimmick, and all of this, it's explained in the tutorial video. I'm teaching everything step by step on how you can make your own gimmick shoelaces from the shoelaces that you want to use if you don't want to use ours. Oh,
Perfect.
sorry.
All right, and I'm showing a picture here of the card with the shoelace tied around it at the end. This is one of the pictures that you gave us for the ad copy. So you can see just the way that everyone can see just the way this looks at the end. We'll show some more of the trailer, but you can see here this is how it looks at the end with the loop tied around the card there. So that's the end result, which is very cool. And I want to say something too. There's been another version of this that came out recently. This is the one that I looked at and I went, man, this is one you could do it. The other one had a lot of limitations. This one also, I think the other version that came out, the shoelace went through the card. This one though is tied around it, but also this is self-contained and it's so much easier to do. This is very, very practical and easy to do. And I'm going to be very honest with the guys out there watching. I'm very skeptical these days about the magic that comes out. You guys know me. Like the magic that comes out, there's so much. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good. This one is actually really, really good. So that's again another reason I wanted to bring Antonio on to talk about it and give him some love because this one's really, really good. It's smart.
Thank you
Very,
very
very smart.
much.
Yeah,
And again,
sure.
one thing I wanted to mention regarding what you just said right now, uh, the performance-wise,
Mm-hmm.
as I was saying before, it's very easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I just lost my idea on what I was trying to say. Sorry, I have a lot of things that I want to mention because
No, that's good.
the
That's
effect
good.
is good, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate that magician. A lot of magicians who bought the effect wrote me, and they said that they really enjoyed it. And again, I can get it. I can get it. I can get it back right now. I lost my thoughts right now.
Well, the other cool thing is in the trailer that I showed first, which I'm going to pop back up again. I'm going to have you here on screen. You're tossing the deck down, and the card appears tied on the shoelace. So, or you can do it in a fan that we're seeing right now, as you kind of fan it across your card, off across your shoe. Here, you're dribbling the cards, but there's another version, Antonio, that I wanted to mention as well, and that one is the one that's the no mess, super easy to do version, which I'm going to show now while you talk about that. So, if people are seeing you just throw cards around, why don't you let them know that there's also another version that you can do that isn't so messy?
Of course, but also the one with the fan that you just showed, the where you make the fan of the cards and you pass them over the shoe.
Yeah,
It's also it's not messy because all you do is just make a fan of cards and you
sure.
come down and
Yeah.
there is. And the important thing about this effect, what I like the most about it, it's that after you set up the gimmick, which it's gonna take like 5 minutes and a few pieces of double stick tape, which everybody has at home. After you set up the gimmick, I swear to God, I had moments in which I was going on the subway, I was meeting people, and I was wearing the shoes with the gimmick ready. Nobody noticed anything ever because it's so perfectly fit
Yeah.
that nobody can ever notice it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the other reason I really like this because once you set it up, you're pretty much just good to go. You carry one extra thing with you, get it into play when you're ready, and you can do this. And of course, the important point too, the card is signed, and there's no force. They could pick a card, any card. That sounds familiar. Pick a card, any card.
They can name it.
That's right. Yeah, it could truly be any card, and that card goes back in the deck, and then you make the magic happen. I am going to show the other one now, Antonio, the no mess version. So why don't you talk about that while I show that as well?
Okay, the thing I like about this, of course, it's the idea that you don't have to pick the cards afterwards because, as we were talking before we started this,
Hmm.
there are a few effects out there that I enjoy very much doing them. I mean, but the thing is that they are very messy. You have a lot of cards spread around at the end
Yeah.
because you have to throw a deck of cards or something like that.
Hmm.
And because of this aspect, the only times I performed these effects was on TV, never at gigs before, because it's I don't want to pick the cards afterwards, and I don't want to waste like 5 6 decks at every show.
Yep.
And that's why I came up with this portion, with this concept on the list
Hmm.
to have this no cleanup routine,
Yep.
because of course people would like to the people that would like to do the one in which they throw the cards directly. Cool, you can do that. You
Yeah.
can pick up the cards afterward, or you can waste the cards, whatever you choose. But if you don't want to waste too many cards, actually no cards at all, you have these other two routines that you can do.
Yeah. There's another one too that I'm going to show here, which is I call this the ninja one. I haven't showed this yet. The one where you get in ninja mode and you kick the crap out of the cards. So I'm going to show that one now too. I'll let you talk over that because that's going to be playing right now too. So why don't you tell them a little bit about let's call this the ninja version. Why don't you talk about this? If you really
Yeah,
want to go like kung fu badass, tell them about this version because I
Bruce
think it's pretty
Bruce
cool.
Lee style. Yeah.
Bruce Lee, yeah, yeah.
First of all, I have to mention that it was very funny shooting that performance. Because we had a lot of cards throwing. We were trying to get some very nice angles when we were shooting. Uh, what I can say about that one, it's that that routine, that performance one. I'm gonna be honest about this one. It's the hardest one of them all.
Okay.
But again, in aside the other four routines that you can do, if you want to do this one, the Bruce Lee move, let's call it that, the Bruce Lee move, you will receive something extra in the box that is specially for this move.
Okay.
If you want to do it, that's all I can say. Other than that, the ending it's about the same. You throw the cards, you kick them, you have the cards in your shoe, you bend down, you untie the shoelaces, you take the card out, and you take your round of applause.
Awesome. Love it. And that is, to me, that's just fun. Like, you just go out, just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's just awesome. But I do like it that there's other versions included. That if you don't want to throw cards, you don't want to make a mess, you've thought of everything with this. And the gimmick allows you to have a lot of flexibility and freedom with the way that you do this, which is also very, very cool.
Oh,
Um,
the gimmick works super easy. I mean,
yeah.
it goes so easy. I mean, it's really the move is just like this. You take the card and you put it back in the deck, and there it is. You're set to go.
Yep. Absolutely.
Nothing extra that you have to do.
So since you mentioned that, let's talk about the overall skill level of this because I'm sure someone's going to ask that eventually. How hard is this to do? And let's just take the most basic version where you take the cards in the box and you just throw that down. Up to the other versions too. How easy is this to do?
The thing is that it depends a lot on the people.
Yeah.
For me, for example, it was a bit hard in the beginning because I'm very tall, possibly the tallest magician in the world. Yeah, I'm 7'2",
Wait, wait,
and
wait, 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 wait. You're 7'2"?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Man, dang, you would never know that from the trailer though. That's nuts. Wow.
I know I don't have a lot of people around me in the trailer, so yeah. And
Wow.
you can imagine for me performing this at this height, it's all the more impossible for the people when they see it. And
Wow.
that's how the whole idea started. Plus, the time when I conceived the LACED, I had my arm broke, and I was trying to think of some new ways on which I could perform some awesome card magic. And I was like, I got to use my feet, and LACED came up. Uh, so about the
Just the overall skill level. How hard is it to do?
oh yeah, the
Yeah.
skill level. No, the skill
Yeah.
level it depends for the depending on the move, because the more height that you have, the more distance that you have from your hand
Yeah.
in which you have the deck of playing cards and your shoe, it's gonna need practice. For example, if you want to do it like have the cards next to your face and throw them like towards your shoe, it's gonna need some practice. Like maybe a week, two of practice, something like that. It depends from person to person.
Hmm.
How fast they can catch that up. But the other routines are very skill friendly, meaning that after you set up the gimmick, you can perform it in the next second. Like
Cool.
you have the gimmick set up, you take the playing cards. Somebody takes a card, they sign it, and you go on with the effect. You go on with the effect.
All right. Very cool. We've got some other questions coming in here as well. You guys don't be shy. Get them in. That's why we're here. Michael
Yeah, of
Blackheart
course.
wants to
Anything.
know, are television rights included with the purchase? Pretty please. Question mark, question mark, question mark. TV rights.
all all rights. So once you purchase
Cool.
the gimmick, you can, in my opinion, you can do whatever you want with it.
All right.
You
Very
can go
good.
on TV. I would actually enjoy it seeing my effect on TV. So if any of you go on TV and perform it, you can send me a video. I would really appreciate it. It would be nice. We can be friends.
Hey, man. Sounds good. A couple other questions coming in here. Michael King wants to know how durable is this and how easy is it to repair? And then Amber, Amber, I'm going to get to you in just a second too. I have a good question from her again. But yeah, how durable is this?
Very good question. The gimmick itself, the most important part of the gimmick, the one that goes into the deck of playing cards, is very, very durable.
No.
I doubt that, for example, the one that I have right now, that I'm still using, has about an estimate of something like 200 something performances, and
Wow.
the only problem that it has is that it's a little bit dirty. That's the only thing that it is. But the shape of it and everything is as it was the first day. There are a few things that might break, and I'm talking about this on the explanation video.
Mm-hmm.
But these parts can be easily be replaced at a local, how do you call those stores where they have hammers and wood and construction stuff, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, like a hardware store. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, like hardware store. Yeah. So everything,
Cool.
the parts that can break, you can buy them from a hardware store
Okay. Cool.
very easily.
Very good. I'm just showing a couple more clips of you performing this because it does look so good, man, and it really is. Just it's fun to watch. It's really really cool.
I
We
really
were,
enjoy it.
yeah, man. I know a lot of people are actually, and that's the other reason I wanted to do this because I want more people to know about it. Because it's that good. Amber Lynn is back. She's the one that asked the question about the black shoelaces. She wants to know, do you think this gimmick would be adaptable to a corset's lacing? Amber Lynn dresses up in a very unique way, and she likes to dress up in a lot of goth kind of gear, very extreme kind of gear. Could you do this with something like a corset lacing? Could you adapt it to that?
Let me just Google this very fast to see exactly how it looks.
Okay, no, that's
Thing that
fair, and
I have my laptop right here.
that's why we're here. We want to make
Okay,
sure.
so I'm guessing that she would wear something like some very high boots, something like that. Like, they would go very high up on the leg.
That's my guess. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be this. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work because if that's the case, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work for that. Yeah, yeah.
Mm, I'm thinking that it's not exactly gonna work the same, and I'm gonna say here why.
Okay.
Because she has a lot of shoelaces, it's gonna be difficult for her to do the cleanup, afterwards, in which you take the shoelaces,
Mm-hmm.
untie the shoelaces, and you take the card away. But other than that, if she just wants to have the finale, where with the card in the
Mm-hmm.
shoelaces, that's it's gonna work for no problem.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, I just sounded like a fool because I didn't think it would work, but there you go. That's why you're here to make me look good, I guess.
The cleanup might be a problem. If I can't see exactly the shoes that she can do it,
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly how adaptable could be the gimmick.
You know
Because
what we can probably do is Amber, because I know her pretty well here. We can try to connect you guys, and if she really wants to show you maybe a picture of what she wants, maybe you could help
yeah,
her with
sure,
that. Yeah, cool,
no problem, no problem,
cool.
anytime.
All right, so Amber, hit me up, and we'll take care of you. All right, cool. Another good question coming in. This one comes in from Mark. Mark's always full of good questions on these things. He wants to know if you're doing this close up, how easy is it to do the reset? So why don't we talk about the reset time, or just how easy it is to do the reset for Laced?
The thing is that you have to go somewhere. You have to leave the room for the reset.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest about that. But once you leave the room, the reset is gonna take you like 20 seconds at the most. I mean, that's how long it takes me right now, because I just take everything apart, and I don't. In the explanation video, I show it on the table and everything, but I also explain it how I do it. Uh, Me at my shows, when I when I leave the room and I do everything, in like a corner, so that nobody sees me. But the reset is very fast. The
Okay.
thing is that you have to go aside for a moment because you got to take some things out into the view. You know.
I got you. And I got a comment on the screen here. Dylan Murray says, Laced looks fantastic. Congratulations, Antonio, on a great release. It looks very highly visual, direct, and creative. I look forward to adding it to my repertoire. That's from Dylan Murray. So that's very cool. Very
Thank you very
nice.
much. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Another question coming in. This was from Jeffrey Tam. Jeffrey, I'm not ignoring you, buddy. He wants to know if this will also work with round laces like Yeezys. So are you able to adapt this to round
Yes,
shoelaces too?
yes, it will, no problems, of course.
Cool. I'm going to put his other part of the
My,
question up here.
myself, I used but again, you're gonna have to customize your shoelaces, and this it's explained in the tutorial video, so no problem on that. Myself, I used for show once. I had like this very big high tops Adidas brand,
Cool.
you know, very nice. They had this tubular shoelaces, and I had to do the same thing for the performance. I had to adapt the gimmick to those to those shoelaces, and it took like 10 minutes.
Let's see here. Just looking through the rest of the questions here. Um, let's see. This is a funny one, actually. Nigel Quinn is
Yeah.
saying, uh, you told us you're 7'2", which is still crazy. What shoe size do we need? So if we want to, for 7'2", what shoe size do we need to do this? Yeah, so it's just a joke.
Yeah,
It's funny.
the ones that you already have are
There
perfect.
you go. Speaking of shoes, though, this is something that was also on the trailer at the very end of one of the performances that I showed. That this is not specific to any shoe either. You mentioned just a moment ago you were more like some high tops and things like that. Just want everyone again to know we're talking specifically about the laces here. But you can do this. You can customize this for pretty much any shoe that's out there, right? With exception, I'm sure, but any shoe, customizable with any shoe.
And the thing is that the shoelaces that we provide are, you know, they're very flat,
Hmm.
and they are made as such as they cover the gimmick perfectly. So in the explanation video, I go over a few subtleties, you know, regarding the positioning of the gimmick and how you attach it on the shoe and everything. But to be honest, just use the shoelaces that we provide, and the gimmick will be completely invisible. No matter what type of shoes that you have, you know, if they're like rainbow colored or orange neon, I don't
Hmm.
know. If you just put our shoelaces on, the gimmick is gonna be invisible.
Perfect. All right. This is good stuff, man. And again, this is why we do these things to try to help you guys and to get as many questions answered, as we can. Speaking of which, and Jeffrey Tam also wanted to let you know, based on you being here and hanging out, he says, thank you, Luke. I'm ordering one right now. God bless you, brother. So, see, there we go, man. We're really doing our best to help people, figure out if they can actually use this or not. So, thanks again for being here, Antonio. We do appreciate
And
it.
again, I hope everybody enjoys it as much as I did, and as many other magicians did that already messaged me that they have it.
Love it. This is a question that I think is very interesting. This comes in from Jason Morales. So Jason's saying, let's say that you're working with someone. Let's say that you and I, Antonio, we're buddies. I'm not as tall as you, but we're buddies. We're hanging out. And let's say that you wanted to have this set up on me. Could you have this set up on a friend and then you could actually perform it on them so that basically it looks like you could just do this to someone else as well? So could you set this up on someone else,
Yes,
signed card, and then do it on their shoe? Could you do that?
yes. You just have to change the shoelaces, but I mean that would be the optimum thing. You know, you
Yeah.
can adapt it on the shoe as it is.
Yeah.
The only problem would be with the pair of gimmick shoelaces, because you would either have to have a prepared gimmick, beforehand,
Yep.
like to have this planned and everything, and have already a pair of shoelaces gimmicked as
Yes.
the ones that the other person has, or you can just put the shoelaces that we give you.
Yeah, very good. I had a feeling that was the answer that yes, you can do that, but just want to make sure, you're the best person to ask, obviously. So there we go. All right. Um, we got a little funny comment popping in here. Ellis Cohen, good to see you as always, Ellis. He's saying, "I'm a senior citizen. Is there a Velcro version?" That's funny.
Oh, that's a good one. We'll try to bring it in the LACED 2.0 version.
There you go. That's funny, dude. Mark is also asking, so yeah, he's asking if it'll work with any shoe and lace type. It will. You just need to have the gimmicks included that Antonio supplied to help you take care of everything else. So yeah, any shoe, any lace, pretty much here, any color, any style. He teaches you how to customize everything. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So again, as I'm saying it in the explanation video, so if you don't like what we give you, no problem. Now
There
I'm
you go.
gonna teach you how to do it yourself. You know,
Love it.
and I'm starting to explain. So you take a shoelace and you do this, you cut this, you do that. You know, it's
He
very
goes,
detailed. I tried to put as much all the information that I had about LACED.
yeah,
I tried to put it in the explanation video. Everything from handling, subtleties, presentation. Arranging the people, everything. Even though you don't need to arrange the people at all, you just go in and you perform it.
trust me, you did an exceptional job of that. I noticed it. I was watching it. You cover a lot. You remind me of Minnie Linenfield with his explanations. He goes into a lot of detail on purpose, but obviously you did the same, which is great.
No, I'm
Um,
I'm I'm always thinking that these are the most important. The subtleties of the effect
yeah,
are most important things. Because who else would know better than the creator? How to handle, something like that, the angles,
yep,
all these things. They count a lot.
absolutely. Another question popping in here. We answered the first part earlier, Michael. Michael's asking about the difficulty level, scale of 1 to 10. It's pretty freaking easy to do, isn't it, Antonio? I think we talked about that earlier. It's a really easy thing to do. But
No, so
it's
uh, so two of the routines are like 2.5,
there you
maybe
go.
3 level, and the other
Yeah.
two are like 8-ish, something like that,
Okay.
like an 8. So, I mean, you have to practice them. They're
Okay.
not gonna be easy. It's just it's a new move that you will have to practice.
Right.
It's not like people do this, on a normal day, throwing
Sure.
stuff at their shoes.
I will say though that and then actually I'll get to his other question, then I'll say something else. And he also wants to know, do you need good audience management to do this? Because some tricks you have to kind of control things. Do you need to worry about any kind of audience management with this?
No, no. As I said, regarding
No.
the angles, you're covered on all angles, and the
No.
only side of the playing cards that it's a bit uncovered, where people can say something, they can see anything. I mean, they can see something. It's always covered by your body.
No.
So again, you're completely. That means that you're completely covered. Performance-wise, to be honest, I was at one point I was thinking that the effect itself it's going too fast because the gimmick is so easy going. You can perform it in like 10 seconds. Literally, you can just take a card, sign it. Thank you. Here it is. Watch this. There you go. You know.
Love it. And it's funny, I actually timed that just right. As you were saying those steps, I was showing the video of you putting the card back and then I could drop in it. So you timed that perfect. We did that on
That's
purpose.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. I did want to say something else about the gimmick that you do have to add to your shoe. Just leave it at that.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
This
That's
is
perfect.
all extremely easy to do. I want you guys to know this openly. Again, I've watched all this, so I know. Very, very easy thing to do. This is not so much like a do it yourself project. It's just that you're adapting some things to your shoe that you already wear. And the other thing I want to say too, Antonio, and I'll ask you the question even though I know the answer, is this something that you're able to walk around all day with and not have to worry about? Because, some gimmicks, you have to, you put it on and it's a little uncomfortable, whatever, and you may not want to wear it all the time. Is this something that's comfortable to wear all the time? You've got your shoes obviously on your feet. Do you need
Once
to?
once you set it up, you won't even notice it's there.
Yep.
It's not gonna affect the your shoes in any way. They're not gonna jump out. It's not gonna be flashed like, hey, you have something on your shoe. Nobody's gonna say that ever because again, the gimmick that's attached to the shoe,
Mm-hmm.
it's completely invisible. And if I'm not sure, but I think the shoes that appear on the trailer, the Nikes that I used for the shooting the trailer, I'm pretty sure that at the moment they still have the gimmick all set up.
Cool.
I'm not joking. And since then I wore those shoes like to a lot of events, and
Cool.
hanging out with friends, never noticed it, and I'm sure it's there because I can't find it anywhere else.
Very cool. Well, you've got another question or two, and then I'm going to let you roll on out. I told you this would go about 30 minutes, and we're hitting the 30-minute mark. But this is a good question, and I think we should probably end on this one.
Okay.
Actually, two quick things. Nigel is saying hello, and he says, "Is this you on Instagram at Antonio Magician? Is that you?"
Yes, Antonio Magician, one word.
Yep.
That is me.
Very good.
Like, the just like this.
And the other question is, this is a really important question. Alexandru, uh, Alexandru, okay. Can the card be handed out for inspection right after you untie the laces? So you've done the trick. It appears on your shoe. You untie it. Can you actually hand the card out after it's been on your shoelace, after it's been tied on your shoe?
That's a perfect question, because this it's actually something that I wanted to mention. I totally forgot about it. Because I didn't mention so much this on the explanation video, and after I was like, I was very sorry about it. It kind of can be given to, actually can give it as a souvenir. The handling is pretty easy and very, how should I say it, intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just say it like this: as easy as the card goes into the gimmick that you have in your deck of playing cards, as easy it goes out, and you can give the card back.
Perfect.
I think that sums it perfectly, And everything comes into this nice little box with the tape and everything, with caution, great magic inside.
Oh, wait. Let me see that. Hold that up again.
Let me just. We have, it's the light very
Oh,
strong.
that's cool. I dig that, man.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
that's the seal of the box. It says nice big right there. Caution, great magic. I thought that it would be nice to prevent people before. Hey, be careful. You're buying something very powerful here. Okay, so you got to be sure about what you're buying right now.
Absolutely. And this is a great effect, guys. If you're just joining us, we have been talking about Antonio's brand new release, kind of like his debut release here, called Laced. It is available now worldwide from your favorite magic shop. So don't hesitate. Pick this one up. Works with any shoelaces, any shoes. The only thing is you have to be 7'2" to do this. Okay, that's not true, but that is how tall Antonio is.
Yes,
I'm still
but it
mind
can be
blown.
any.
Yeah, still
Oh,
mind blown.
imagine how it's gonna be when we're gonna meet face to face. That's gonna be very, very well.
I'll be
I mean,
looking up
usually
to you.
is, people. Yeah, it's not like that. And another thing that I wanted to mention,
Okay.
before closing and everything, first of all, I wanted to give a shout out for the cleanup to my friends Edward and Bianca, because the cleanup, they were a big help there, because I was struggling at one point with this thing, like you had the card in your shoelaces, and how could you, untie the shoelaces and take it out, and I gotta hand it out to them. They were a big help on this.
Cool.
And a big message for all the magicians that are watching this: keep a close eye on me, because right now I'm working on some new project. They're gonna be also released with Murphy's Magic in the near future, and they're gonna be very awesome. I'm super excited about them. I would like to say more about these projects. Trust me, I would like to give so much, because I'm super excited about them. But I'm gonna leave it be a surprise, because it's not gonna be long. It's not gonna take longer, and they're gonna be out, and people are gonna be super psyched about it.
If you started talking about them, I would have to kick you off here. So you're good.
No, 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 no. You got to keep it a secret for the moment.
Yeah. Although, like, magicians are the worst people in the world to keep secrets, which is, go figure, But you did good. You did good here. You did good.
Trying my best. Trying my best. Thank you.
One other quick question, and then I'm going to let you roll. This one, I'm sure you can answer in like a sentence. Out of the package, how long is the setup? Michael King would like to know that, and then I'll let you roll.
Uh, 5 to 10 minutes at the most.
Perfect. All right.
Because the only things that you will need to prepare the gimmick, it's a deck of playing cards, a black Sharpie, which you also need for the performance part of the effect,
Mm-hmm.
and some double stick tape, which I'm guessing that every magician has in his house.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, you can find it very, very easy at any store, at your local store, literally any market that you have around your house.
Cool. All right. Very quick setup. A lot of pros with this one. It's a solid piece of magic. Antonio really has thought of everything with this, so it is now available out there, guys and gals. So pick it up. It's a good one. And Antonio, I want to say thank you again for your time, for joining us from Romania. It is about, if I'm not mistaken, is it like 10 o'clock at night where you are? Almost 11 or?
10 and a half. 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Yes, at night.
So thanks for staying up late with us and talking. And I look
No,
forward to
it was.
hopefully we'll do this again with your other stuff that's coming out too. You know, it'd be fun.
I hope as well, and trust me, it was my pleasure to be here, and I really appreciate it because I really wanted to talk about this effect again because there are so many pros about it that I wanted to
Yeah.
point out that we didn't get the chance to expose them in the details. You know, the description of the product or the trailer. You know, it has to be short. We can't make like a 5 minute trailer and say, hey, so you can do this and you can do that, and and this was perfect, because we have I got the chance to put out there a lot of information about it, and I hope that everybody that's going to buy it, they're going to enjoy it, because that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. And if any of you guys have any other questions after the fact, if you couldn't join us live, you can always post your comments below. We're very, very active. And if we really, really if we need to bug Antonio, we can tag him and he can see the questions too. So be prepared, Antonio.
No problem, anytime.
All right, brother. Take care. And thanks again. And congrats on LACED, man. Good stuff.